Okay, everybody, I promise a vlog a day and I'm not going to disappoint. What I want to talk about in this video is how our generation got screwed over. I don't even know what particular generation I'm at. Somewhere in between millennials and Generation X. I think technically I'm in Generation X, but whatever. So anyways, our generation got screwed over. Here I am, an adult, I'm 36. I'm trying to find a light at the end of the tunnel as far as like finding housing. You know, we're trying to get into a nice house right now and trying to have a kid. And just simple tasks like that seem insurmountable right now. It just seems like it's like housing price. Granted, I'm in LA and I knew I was going to be paying more, but I have a feeling that housing for our generation's a little hard for anybody our age to find. So anyways, but I just feel like all across the board, our generation's been screwed over. Let's start off from the beginning, in the 80s, when I was born. Let's start off with the diet. The diet was doggy biscuits. And what do I mean by doggy biscuits? Like, it was just around the time, the 80s, it was just around the time when, like, Burger King, McDonald's, processed fast food was just coming into its zenith. Like it was just coming into its prime. And, like, all the options, you know, there's tons of fast food options. And that's how a lot of people ate. You know, you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything from, you know, like who wanted to cook, who had time to cook. My parents were 19 when they had me. They weren't gonna cook, you know, unless I stayed at my grandparents' house. I was getting whatever kind of processed food they could give me. So either it was in the form of McDonald's or Burger King or like when those kid cuisines, you remember kid cuisines, like those TV dinners, which are probably even worse. It was even more processed than the other things. So you got doggy biscuits for a diet, and then we were kind of raised in a lackadaisical, like, luxurious, decadent time where, like, hey, our generation kind of suffered a little more. The generation before that kind of worked a little bit harder and suffered a little bit more. You guys relax a little bit. You guys just kind of be bohemian and, you know, get enough to get through school, and then, you know, just kind of enjoy your life. And that's how we were raised, kind of with no discipline. And, well, I mean, I don't want to speak for anybody. Maybe there's tons of kids that are doing great, you know, that had discipline. But me, personally, I didn't have the discipline that I needed. I need those tools. I signed up for the small school in Florida called IFAC. It was a little art school. I wanted to treat it kind of like as a 4-year vacation. And at the end, then I had my degree. And it was small, but not too small. And that way I could kind of have a vacation in Florida and then also learn about the craft I wanted to go into, which is filmmaking. Little did I know about, like, 3 or 4 months in, the Art Institutes bought it, which I did not agree to sign up for because I just didn't want to go to a college that was kind of like an Everest college. You know, you're sitting home getting stoned during the day, playing hooky from high school, and you see one of those Everest colleges like yo, dog, you at home? You want something to do?
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by.
You want to get control of your life? You want to do something, dog? Well, let's go. Get control of your life. So I actually wanted to go to like a real college. And so like 3 months into it, Art Institutes bought the school, and bam, I was in a for-profit college I really didn't originally sign up for. But times were different in the early 2000s, which is when I started school. And I figured, okay, you know what? It is what it is. Like, it might be an art institute, but I can still treat it like a 4-year vacation. And then at the end, I still have a bachelor's degree. I'm sure it's still accredited. So at least if I don't get my foot in the door in like a mid-range media company, then at least I can get a really good paying office job until I can figure out what's going on, find get myself situated on my feet. Let's just say it didn't really turn out that way. I did get some okay jobs in the beginning because when I graduated in 2005, the economy was still going pretty decent. So I got some good jobs then. But then when the recession hit, boom, I was out. I was out of work for like 3 years. And that's, you know how that messes with your mind. That's like, oh, that's just crazy. I was starting to wonder if I was ever going to get a job. Forget career. I would love to have a career, but at that point I was just worried about having a job, just worried about surviving. So again, you know, I wasn't prepared for that kind of adversity. I was born in the twilight of disco. So all I knew was decadence and good times and happy laughs. So by the time I reached adversity, and it just coincided with my 30th birthday, and that just messed me up. Well, I got out of that. The job markets for anything isn't equal to what we went to school for. And furthermore, our generation paid like twice as much than my parents. My mom and my dad could have went to like Michigan State for like what it would cost. They could have went to Michigan State for like a minimum wage job. Now you can't even go to college on like a 6-figure salary. So how'd that happen? How did we jump from, okay, you could work a minimum wage job and pay off your college, to like now you need 6 figures, to now you're paying like, you're spending at least a decade in your adulthood paying these off. And I don't know when I'm going to pay this off, because it's like up and down, up and down, up and down. Like the job market's just not consummate with what we went to school for. And we paid so much more money to go to school. That doesn't seem right. That math seems off. You know, it's like an insurance company that fails to pay you out for your insurance. That math doesn't seem off. I just feel like a lot of things want something for nothing in this day and age. Everywhere across the board, I feel like, you know, you try to get food, you have to go out of your way to find non-processed foods right now. Where were you, parents? And you're supposed to make life easier for us. Doesn't seem like life is easier. It seems like everybody's snapping, shooting everybody up. Like, it's hard to find a job. If you do find a job, it's usually in hospitality or like at a restaurant, minimum wage. Yeah, they say the economy is good, but who is the economy really good for? It's only good for people in stocks or someone that has their own business. Yeah, but if not, if you're just a working stiff guy and you try to get along, oh, you're screwed. You're done. You're toasted. You really got to have a game plan now. Otherwise, we're all going to be turned into these middle-class slaves. And I feel like the system wants you rich enough to buy their products, but not too rich to where you can get a leg up and you can get leveled up on your own. I grew up in the 80s where everything was just pretty much leveled field, and you saw the American dream. Now it's just like, now they're making movies, now they're making jokes in movies about America being a third world country. You pretty much are. I'm trying to find redeemable things about living here. And it seems like I'm not the only one that's alone. A lot of friends I have that hang out with us, they're either having to be in condos, or it's just like really hard finding housing. It's hard to find the whole package that makes the American dream. We don't want the American dream. We just want the American survival now. So we just want a decent paying job that's enough to pay our mortgages and food, and to maybe have some time to, and maybe have a little bit over to take a couple trips a year. But it just seems like that's so out of reach right now. It just seems like it seems like I'm looking up a mountain and I'm like, how am I going to scale this mountain to buy a house? How are we going to have a kid? You know, we want to have a kid, but it's like, okay, are we going to be able to even afford a kid? That's a legitimate question and argument I have in my own brain. And then if we do pop out a kid, what kind of a world is they going to live in? What kind of world are they going to live in? Get old enough just to go into middle and high school, and then they get shot up. And if they're not shot up, there's no jobs for them unless you already have an interest in stocks or a business. So it's like, you know, why would I want to bring a kid into this kind of weird dystopian escape from New York kind of future that we seem to be living in? And I don't feel like people have quite woken up yet. I was raised in a world that doesn't exist anymore. The decks are stacked against you. So you really have to pull your weight. Now, I'm not trying to bitch and complain too much. I'm just in a phase where I just want to rant about this. This is my vlog, my video diary. I want to put this down, document this so I can kind of leave this behind and move on and think about solutions. I'm not all about, you know, bitching and complaining. I'm here about thinking about solutions. But that doesn't mean I don't have a brain, and that doesn't mean I don't think and have a conscience. Yeah, I know what's going on. I know what time it is. Come on. So I'm just going to leave this on the table. We'll go about my day now. But yeah, it's just like every aspect of our lives. We got screwed over on growing up. We got screwed over on the food growing up. We got screwed over on the discipline. We got way screwed over on our student loans. Oh my God, I feel like we're gonna be paying this for most of our adult lives. In debt. That's a weird kind of cruelty where you're in debt to pay all this stuff, and I didn't even get a good quality of education. Come on, I believe that, you know, hey, there's karma, and I believe that karma exists even for companies and people and everything else. That's why you better be good. You better mind your P's and Q's. It's just that, like, we paid through the teeth. We're in crazy. We're gonna be debt for life for an education that was shit, for a job market that doesn't exist, and now we're even removed from that. So we lost all our manufacturing jobs to China. China's lost it to Africa, and that ship's been long gone. People want to bitch and complain about, oh, they're taking the manufacturing jobs. Bitch, manufacturing's done with. All right, you know, don't have to worry about what kind of other race is stealing your job. It's not a race that's stealing your job. It's a fucking robot, you know? And you just didn't get the right education. You just didn't get the right education for what's really moving the business market nowadays, which is like internet stuff and Google and Facebook and all that stuff. All this internet stuff. We were trained how to build motors in Michigan. No, who cares? Americans not even making good cars anymore. Unless it's Tesla. But again, those are being built by robots primarily. And furthermore, you know, the legalization of marijuana. Yeah, I smoke marijuana in my day. But like, if we legalize it, people are just going to be so stoned and sit and watch the Kardashians. And that's weird. Why are we revering and idolizing, like, people that are just rich? You're basically giving them your money while you're smoking pot and eating your shitty foods and sitting and watching on the couch doing nothing with your life. Continue to watch those Everest College commercials. See what happens. All right? This country was built on people with work ethic. And I didn't have work ethic my first half, but I sure as hell do now. And I'm ready to take on the world. Okay, so again, like I said, this is going to be my second vlog in my series. I'm going to do a vlog a day. And I'm not going to be perfect, but I figure if I keep doing these vlogs, I'll get better. I'll start to develop a structure. And hopefully by the end of the year, the 365th video will be a lot different, a lot better, and a lot better to watch. You can bear to watch it, you know? I don't know if it's even watchable now, but I got to put one out. I got to do what I set my mind to do. All right, bye.